Hey guys, and welcome to today's live stream. Today I'm going to be continuing with my reading of my What If Frieza Conquered Kanassa novelization. And, well, the first stream I did, even though not many people jumped on, I still found that the streaming of Volume 1 was still pretty successful. It's still getting hits now and people watching. So let's see how we go with Volume 2. And, of course, just like last time, once I begin reading, I'm not really going to be able to interact in the chats much, but I will be able to interact in between chapters when I finish, and just like I did with the What If Saying Council, if no one's online, I can simply discuss some of the comments I've been getting in my latest videos and discuss your ideas of what content you want to see on this channel. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, we're on chapter 8 now. Piccolo and the Farmer. It had been a beautiful day on the planet Earth, clear blue skies, cool and breezy winds. It had been like this since the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, and when Goku once again faced off against Piccolo 5 years ago. Piccolo was a ruthless tyrant that twice threatened the Earth. However, since his reincarnation, Piccolo has, well, been more grumpy than evil. Today, for Piccolo, he was standing atop a mountain, overlooking a wasteland, keeping to himself, plotting revenge on his hated enemy Goku. This time I'll finish you for good, Goku. Meanwhile, heading into Earth's orbit was the Saiyan space pod containing a vengeful Raditz who was seeking to eliminate his brother Kakarot. In almost an instant, the space pod hits the ground, the countryside shaking on impact. A nearby farmer who was working his field witnessed the crash and proceeded to investigate it. As he approached the huge crater, he was horrified to see the strange round object before him. He had swallowed his fear and began to venture down when suddenly the pod door opens and this gigantic man with a tail steps out. The farmer held out a rifle pointing it straight at Raditz. "Now that's enough! Right there, you hear? You don't take one more step," Farmer said as he started stepping back. Not watching where he was going, the farmer tripped on a rock, accidentally discharging his weapon, hitting Raditz on his Frieza mask. Raditz, not fazed by this, simply stood over the farmer, taking the rifle from the farmer's hands and snapping it in two. "Please don't! I don't want no trouble. I was just protecting myself," the farmer pleaded with Raditz for his life. But those cries for mercy were lost on the broken down Saiyan, and with one step, Raditz ended the farmer's life, crushing his head, blood staining his boots. Raditz looked around, using the inbuilt scouters on his mask's eyes. He looked around till he found a power level of 320, not too far in the front direction he was facing. With that, Raditz took to the skies, heading straight for the power level. The power level turned out to be Piccolo. Piccolo is frozen with terror at this approaching power he can sense, and it had been a power he had never sensed before, for it was insanely powerful, too powerful to comprehend, as Raditz closed in, staring at Piccolo. Piccolo could only regain his composure as he began to talking to the stranger. "You lost us something?" Piccolo asked. Raditz stood there and said nothing, just kept staring at him. Look, I suggest you leave if you value your life. I don't entertain much, Piccolo said, sounding demanding, like he had forgotten how powerful his being is. Kakarot! Raditz merely uttered. I don't know any Kakarot. Now beat it. You're making me mad. Piccolo warned once again. Still, Raditz stood still, merely staring. Fine, you asked for it, Piccolo said, charging a key blast, firing it directly at Raditz. I tried to warn you, creep. You brought this on yourself. What? Piccolo suddenly said with a jolt of fear as the smoke cleared and Raditz stood, undamaged. What kind of monster are you? Piccolo asked. And again, no answer. Raditz merely fired a key blast, destroying Piccolo where he stood. The blast was so intense, almost overkill. Of course, with Piccolo gone, that means Kami's gone, and the Dragon Balls are gone as well. Raditz took the sky once again, searching for another power level. He soon detects another power level quite a bit further away, with a power level of 330. Raditz headed off in that direction at full speed. And that's it for this chapter. Whew. How is everyone this morning? Alright, no one really on the live chat at the moment. No worries. Let's see what the comments said on the YouTube videos. Okay. Here we are. Here's where we last left off. Alright. Here's some comments from What If Vegeta Was Female, Part 8. And pretty much all of them are from the same user. Alright, let's have a look here. Okay. Please make Kami the dominant half and not Piccolo. Yeah, it's definitely a thought. Actually, I'm pretty sure I actually did that in this What If. As for absorbing Dende as well, yeah, probably not. I think that's a bit of a stretch. What if DB Rai was in Dragon Ball? I might save that for April Fool's special. Alright. Check out another video. Here we are. Let's see what they said in What If Cell Jr. Turned Good 7. Alright, Jimmy Staten says, dude, that thumbnail, how did you do that? I can't believe no one has seen this. This is by far the best What If video you've done. Your flow was good, and that Frieza impersonation, and I just love what you did. Oh, there's more here. Love what you did with Curry. Can't wait for part 8. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. For those of you who don't know, Curry is Cell Jr. He's basically found in Sano's village, and Sano and Android 8 raise him and name him Curry. And he slowly but surely becomes a good guy. And in fact, that was last year's April Fool's special. It kind of grew. Jimmy Stetton also says, "Love how Curry beat Frost. That was pure gold. Get it?" Yes, I get it. Curry can turn gold into golden form like Frieza does, having Frieza cells. Do a what if Frost turned good? Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah. And probably a lot of middle ground to sort of use, considering the what do you call it? We don't know much about Universe 6, so yeah, we probably could make that work. But Philly Shrinter says, just a doubt, could Original Cell do Namekian fusion with Piccolo? Let's say once he got perfect, losing the Super Saiyan to Gohan. He uses Solar Flare, beats Piccolo to near death, and places his hand on his chest. How strong would he become? I think that's an interesting question, and he does have Namekian cells, so I suppose it could be possible that he might be able to perform a Namekian fusion. Yeah, it'd be sort of a last ditch effort, and it'd be a miracle if Cell actually pulls it off. But yeah, it's definitely a thought, and I might actually consider this for future what if video. It's not a bad idea at all. All right. Take a drink, and we'll continue on with the next chapter. And if those of you who haven't seen part 1, I recommend you check part 1. That way, at least when you watch this, volume 2 will make sense. Alright. Chapter 9. Unexpected help. Unexpected help. It was a fun, happy day on Turtle Island, home of Master Roshi. For the old dragon team, were all there enjoying a reunion. Goku was excited to introduce everyone to his 4-year-old son Gohan. Goku wished he could socialize more, however, Chi-Chi wouldn't allow it. Needless to say, Goku was enjoying every moment, for this was the first time, since the wedding of Goku and Chi-Chi, that Goku had really seen his friends. Goku often thought about training with his friends, just like old times. However, Chi-Chi made clear his responsibilities as a father and husband. Their celebrations were brought to a halt when Goku felt an approaching power, the likes of which he hadn't felt before. Surely it can't be Piccolo. This was too powerful even for him. No, it wasn't Piccolo. This energy he was feeling was nothing short of pure rage, and it was heading straight for them. This power froze Goku in his boots. It took him almost a second for him to find his words. "Bulma, do you have something we can use to evacuate the island?" Goku asked. "Yes, I do." Bulma throwing a dino cap towards the ocean, revealing a submarine. "Bulma, get everyone out of here, and please watch my son." And well, before Bulma could really argue, she just decided to pretty much go with it. Goku took to the air to meet this threat. Moments later, Raditz would come face to face with his brother at last. "What brings you to this island? If you are here to start trouble, you have been asked to leave." Raditz stood there in the air. His only response was clenching his fist, and he began powering up. The mere force of his energy begins to overwhelm Goku. However, Goku kept his gaze. Finally, Raditz spoke one word that was more like a battle cry. Kakarot! Suddenly, Raditz's power rose again, and a change had come over Raditz, his hair sticking up, turning a bright yellow color and becoming cloaked in a yellow aura. Wow, no way! This is insane! Goku said as he readied a fighting stance, preparing for this behemoth to attack. Not that there was much he could do against this kind of power, as Raditz began a powerful blow that could end his brother right then and there. Suddenly, Raditz came under attack as his armor was scratched by a pair of green arms and claws. Raditz had been surrounded by 6 very familiar creatures that made very distinctive noises. They were the Cybermen, and behind Raditz stood Nappa and Vegeta. That's enough, Raditz. Stand down immediately, or I'll be forced to destroy you, Vegeta said with a smirk. However, deep down, Vegeta was hiding his fear, for he recognized this form as the legendary Super Saiyan. There's no way they have a chance, and he knows it. Raditz was not backing down, as he began engaging with the Cybermen in combat. Within one strike, he smashed a Cyberman to pieces. Vegeta and Nappa had joined the engagement, speeding towards Raditz at full force. Goku looking on confused. Listen to me, Kakarot! If you want to get out of this alive, you've got to help us! Kaka, what? Are you talking to me? Of course I'm talking to you! Don't you know your own name? Vegeta asked, getting more impatient by the second. Goku had begun to engage, and it was an endless barrage of attacks with Goku and his new allies just trying not to get hit. For all they know, one hit meant death. Suddenly, a big blue energy blast had hit Raditz from out of nowhere. Goku looked around to see Krillin flying just behind. Nappa and Raditz. Sorry about that. Wrong name. Nappa and Vegeta were equally surprised seeing this little bold man's power level rise at a single point like that. Maybe we have a chance, Vegeta said, staring right at Krillin. Hey, short guy, I hope you have more tricks than that to get us out of this. And indeed, Krillin did have another hand to play. Flying in the path of the sun, bringing his hands to his face, and with a loud cry, Solar Flare! The blinding solar flare technique was what they needed to escape. Vegeta quickly fired a ki blast directly at Raditz's face, damaging the inbuilt skelters so Raditz couldn't track them. And with a mad dash for Bulma's submarine, they escaped undetected. It had been very crammed inside the submarine, especially with Nappa inside. And I thought the space pods were bad. Suck it up, Nappa. Until we're out of danger, this is the best we can do, Vegeta said. The submarine dived and disappeared into the darkness of the ocean. While Raditz finally regained his sight, he could no longer see them. His inbuilt scouter damaged, Raditz could only fly around aimlessly. And that's it for this chapter. Whew. Pretty exciting. Alright, let's check out some more comments. Jimmy Seton says, Piccolo, why didn't you dodge? Alright. Let's look at what comments were said on the next video. Ooh, 15. Thank you, but not everyone's gonna like my content. Jimmy Stetton says, whoever disliked either didn't like Guinea getting impaled by the special beam cannon, or didn't like the side venture featuring Bardock being in hell. Yeah, I got to admit, I do admit I was kind of taking a risk with that little side adventure. I did want to sort of, just sort of do something fun in between the Saiyan's arrival and Guinea getting training on King Kai's planet. And it just sort of made sense that Guinea would get in front of Piccolo's beam, preventing both her sons being killed by Piccolo. And of course, there are Dragon Balls. Alright, Mythili says, what if King Yama or Shenron turned drum, cymbal, tambourine, piano into good Namekians? Yeah, I suppose they could. I don't think a wish like that would be really out of the dragon's power. Then again, maybe it would be too. Alright. Rezekil Drukada says, by the way, this is the video, what if Guinea survived part 4, where she escapes Planet Vegeta and joins the adventures of Goku throughout Dragon Ball, which do check out that series if you haven't. Okay, so anyway, Rezekul Drukada says, Mythili Sridhar is a notorious spammer on many channels and many what ifs. That says you didn't clarify the status of a possibly unconscious Nappa. Yeah, true. I did kind of I kind of didn't make that clear. That's my fault with the way I talk sometimes. But to clarify, Nappa is dead in this what if. Um, Raditz may have friend or foe identification for Great Ape and may not be mindless, leading to his tail and maybe Kakarot's remaining. Ide didn't turn Uzaru, and they did my man Bardock dirty. Now Gine didn't turn Ozaru. Gine sort of caught on what Vegeta was doing and didn't look up at the ball. After all, out of Kakarot Raditz, Gine does have more experience, being a Saiyan. And, she would have seen Bardock do that energy ball trick before. And, well, Raditz, having worked beside Vegeta and Nappa, also didn't look up. So it was just a rampaging Kakarot and Gohan when Vegeta plotted his escape from Earth. And yeah, well, Bardock would be in hell when you really stop to think about it. After all, he's killed billions more than what Frieza has. When you really stop to think about it, considering Bardock did all the grunt work in the Frieza Force. Hmm. Oh yeah, and as for calling the Philly spammer, I really not that badly into people who comment and maybe spam a little, as long as they're talking about the content. I find that there's a difference between spamming and being enthusiastic, and it his comments are not unwanted, so it's fine. Alright, what am I doing back there? All right, anything else? All right, here's some comments from What If Nappa Survived Part 3. Hmm. All right. Little Bro says that Jace was actually stronger than Raccoon, Yeah, and I did the what if. I wasn't sure who was stronger, Jace or Raccoon. And I actually thought Raccoon was actually stronger in terms of raw power, but yeah, I might have actually been wrong there. Anyway, it didn't really make much difference to what happens in the what if or story. Either way, they both met the same end. But thank you for providing that info, little bro. Because yeah, I did say if anyone had research on this matter, definitely send it my way. All right, we'll look at one more, then we'll look at this next one, then we'll jump back into the next chapter. All right. Philly says, "Is Frieza capable of making friends? He never ill-treated the Ginyu Force. There is a fan manga where Ginyu raised Frieza also, so there is some friendly kindness and gratitude." Okay. If you have a link to that, Mafili, please send that. I wouldn't mind reading that actually. Um, Frieza capable of making friends? I think it's possible. Although I suppose it really depends on Frieza's mood. So Frieza cared about developing planets and not completely evil. Oh yeah, this is for what if Frieza became immortal? And yes, Frieza does doesn't just destroy, he does, in fact, create and make certain planets stronger, and it's good for business. He is the son of King Cold after all. And King Cold was definitely a sleazy businessman, and within Frieza's studies, he would have learnt all about business. And let's say Frieza spares the humans. Could Frieza find a mate on Earth? Turn neutral wants to settle down, have a family. At this point of the what if, um, not really, but yes, he has indeed spared the humans. They're a pretty useful slave force in building things, and plus he's got the resources like Capsule Corp at his disposal. And well, Frieza's actually a pretty fair ruler, and even the slaves of Frieza's get paid and rewarded somewhat for their services. And yeah, and it actually turns with the remaining martial artists of Earth actually joining the Frieza Force. So I'll give you a moment to picture Roshi in a Frieza Force uniform. And yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with how this story is actually developing thus far. All right, let's jump into the next chapter. All right, chapter 10. The enemy is your brother? It had been a surprisingly quiet submarine ride, considering the two new mysterious passengers. For nearly half an hour, no one spoke a word. Sure, they were full of questions, Vegeta and Nappa included. However, no one spoke until Bulma set the submarine on autopilot. Well, that should do it. We should be at West City in a couple of hours, she said as she turned around looking at everybody. She looked to the new arrivals, Nappa and Vegeta, and she noticed something familiar about the two of them: their tails. Goku, look! They have tails, just like you used to. Remember? Goku looked bewildered as he examines the two of them, also noticing the tails. Hey, Bulma, you're right. They do have tails. Of course we have tails, Kakarot. We're Saiyans just like you. Saiyans? What's that? Goku asked. Vegeta and Nappa were now the ones looking bewildered by this. Did Kakarot know nothing of his heritage or where he had come from? Come on, Kakarot, you're kidding! Look around you. You belong to the mighty warrior race, the Saiyans. Uh, right? Nappa asked, seeming more confused. I'm so confused. Why doesn't he remember? Kakarot, did you ever suffer a blow to the head when you were really young? Yeah, a long time ago when I was still an infant. Why? Oh my god, you've forgotten everything, haven't you, Kakarot? I was hoping not to give a history lesson. For the next 2 hours on their way to West City, Vegeta and Nappa spent the entire trip filling the Dragon team on everything, from the history of the Saiyans to Planet Vegeta's eventual destruction. They filled everyone in on their attacker, including the fact that he is Raditz, the elder son of Gine and Bardock, and the older brother of Goku. He filled him in all about Frieza and what Frieza had done to Raditz. Surprisingly, everyone took it all well. After hearing everything, Bulma was the one to address the elephant in the room. So are you here to take our world? She asked with deep concern. Vegeta merely smirked at her. Relax, woman. We have no interest in your planet. If I really wanted it, I'd have killed you all already. Hey, that wasn't very nice. Apologize, Goku demanded. Vegeta looking bewildered again. Did this low-class Saiyan just demand I so did this low-class Saiyan demand I apologize? Me, a Saiyan, apologize? What kind of a Saiyan demands an apology? I thought Raditz was a disgrace to the Saiyans. Nappa stood there just as bewildered as Vegeta. Was this guy trying to get himself killed? No one has had the nerve to talk to Vegeta like that except for his parents. At long last, they had arrived at West City. Bulma had raised the submarine to the surface, and everyone departed. With a bit of a walk, they made it over to Bulma's home at Capsule Corp. There was plenty of room for everyone to stay, including Nappa and Vegeta. While everyone was settling in, Vegeta, Nappa, and Kakarot sat around a table with Bulma, trying to come up with a plan. Vegeta kept staring at Goku. Even though he had no memories of being a Saiyan, Vegeta could tell Goku was more of a Saiyan than his brother. Even though Goku was weaker than his brother, with a power level of 330, he stood up to a Super Saiyan. Not only that he stood up to him, he stood up to the Prince of all Saiyans as well. And Vegeta wouldn't admit it, but he was already starting to respect Goku. They sat in silence for quite a while, not being able to come up with much. Vegeta, I don't know how we're going to get out of this one, Nappa said, rubbing his head. Vegeta had noticed Gohan running around playing. Hey Kakarot, is that your son over there? He asked with a tone of curiosity. Yes, he is. Why? Don't you know what this means, Kakarot? If your son is half Saiyan, he could have untapped potential, perhaps even greater than ours, Vegeta said. Not that it matters. Not that it matters. Not that it matters. It would take us years of training to catch up to Raditz and stop Frieza. Yeah, and without the Dragon Balls, we can't undo what has been done. The what? Vegeta asked, getting to his feet. The Dragon Balls. We have them here on Earth. If you collect those 7, the Eternal Dragon will grant you any wish you want, Goku said. Vegeta and Nappa were speechless at this information. What? Why can't we use the Dragon Balls? Explain! Well, you said earlier you found Piccolo's body. What did you call him? Namekian? Well, if Piccolo dies, the Dragon Balls don't work without him. And at that moment, Vegeta puts 2 and 2 together. That legend of the Namekian wish orbs of planet Namek were true. There was there was a Namekian out here. That can't be a coincidence. A plan was beginning to form in the head of Vegeta. We can go to planet Namek and use their Dragon Balls, Vegeta suddenly said. Still, we still have the problem of not being strong enough to take on the likes of Raditz and Frieza. I'd forget about it, Vegeta. It's not like our space pods will fit all of us in, Nappa said, taking a swig of an enormous beer. Don't worry about that, boys, Bulma said. If you hand over your pods to me, my dad and I can build it into a bigger room for all of us to go to Namek. It's too bad the gravity on this planet is weak. If it were stronger, we could catch up to Raditz, no problem, Vegeta said, staring intensely at his glass. Done. I'll add a gravity chamber to the ship and make sure there's room for you guys to train, Bulma said, sounding enthusiastic about the challenge. After all, space tech? Why not? What? Wow, you can really do all that, Bulma? Goku asked, getting to his feet, ready for some hard-hitting training. Have I ever failed us? Bulma said with a smile. Woman, Vegeta said abruptly. What's your name? My name is Bulma, and don't you forget it, Saiyan. You know what? You're all right, Bulma, Vegeta said. So, Bulma, how long to build a ship? Goku asked, seeming eager. It would take a few weeks, at least 2. If I really hustle, Bulma said with a wrench already in her hand. Oh, right, Goku responded, as Vegeta gets to his feet with Goku. Kakarot, do you know a place where we could train? Preferably somewhere Raditz won't spot us. Vegeta asked. Goku stood there, arms folded, thinking intensely to himself, till suddenly it came to him. The hyperbolic time chamber in Kami's lookout. We can get a whole year's training in there for one day, Goku said with excitement. This news creates a spark of hope to Nappa and Vegeta. Then what are we waiting for? Waiting here for, Kakarot? Let's get going, Nappa said, already on his way out. This just might work after all, Vegeta said, looking at Gohan, and he looked at Kakarot. Bring your son, Kakarot. It's time he knew what he was made of, Vegeta said, taken to the air. Goku took hold of his son, Gohan, and they followed suit, with Krillin tagging along. And that's it for this chapter. Whew. And we are coming into 38 minutes in this stream. All right. Quickly check out some more comments quickly. Here we are, some comments from What If Chi-Chi Became a Saiyan Part 5. By far my most popular What If on my channel. First video got over 1,000 views. Jimmy Stetton saying, seriously, your art is getting so much better. Keep up the what ifs. I love them. Thank you, Jimmy. And yeah, definitely, I love doing these what ifs. It's definitely a lot of fun. And so don't worry, that's not stopping anytime soon. Or ever, if I can help it. Philly says, what if Kami reincarnated himself just after the Namek and Frieza saga? He knows that he is useless, decides to wish for youth and immortality, train in the room of spirit and time for 2 days, straight, trains on King Kai's planet, learns all the techniques. Let's assume that there are Metamorians on King Kai's planet training, learns a fusion dance. I would imagine King Kai tells Kami, or maybe even Goku telling Kami about Yardrat via telepathy. Kami would learn Healing Force, Spirit Fusion, Instant Transmission, Cloning, Gigantfication, and would train in with all the Z Fighters in the Grav Chamber. What if, let's say, Kami would absorb Piccolo Jr. as Kami is the same power level as Piccolo, if not slightly stronger, and he is younger, so Kami would absorb Piccolo, and I have nothing against Piccolo, but once he absorbs him, I would imagine Shenron is stronger than Porunga, has 4 wishes, 1 extra wish, and can also grant wishes like turning people into Saiyans, Frost Demons, Frieza race, and Namekians, and Android race. I don't know if androids are really a race. Let's say machine mutants are, if we go into GT. Say that it is possible Kami would also be able to wish back King Piccolo, Grand Elder Kuru, Simple Tambourine, Drum, Piano, and absorb all of them. Oh wow, that is a really huge mouthful. Again, I respect the enthusiasm. Um, a lot of these concepts, I don't know if I'd use them all in the one what if though. You could probably use a lot of these in quite a few different what if scenarios with Kami. So definitely, I think some good ideas there, and yeah, making Shenron powerful so he grants 4 wishes. Yeah, that could be something. So I'll definitely keep in mind some of these ideas, and I may find some spots with them for a what if, or just do something completely different with their own what if. If enthusiasm like that, he could do his own what if channel. um, ooh, why not? Let's have a look at this. My make a man out of you Disney parody. What? Sung by me doing my Guinea voice. Make a Saiyan out of you, based off my what if Frieza spared Bardock? What if? It's led to a scenario where Guinea escapes with Goku and is training him up like a Saiyan. It's anyways a anyway. I did a parody song of it for the fun of it. Any comments? Oh, one comment. Jimmy Staten code Krillin. I never even had a girlfriend, which I actually used as a part of the lyric in the song. All right. Okay, let's check out what if Mercenary Towel turned good. 5 likes. 5 likes in this video. That's cool. 18 comments. I want to know more of Chaozu's species. Are they more like him? I always thought Chaozu was human. I'm pretty sure Chaozu is human. I might be wrong there. I'll look into it. I'll certainly look into that, Mafili. Jimmy Staten thanking me for using his idea because he suggested it. Oh, sweet, you did my idea. Well done. It says I nailed Master Corin's impersonation. I remember that. That was so funny. Yep, I'll definitely keep them coming. Yeah, it won't be long till I go do a part 2 to that. Okay. Anything else? Alright, Mafili suggests that I revive General Red, Blue, Violet. I don't recall Violet being dead. Join the Z Fighters, baby married. I think he says Turles here. It says Turtles here, but perhaps he means Turles. I suppose it could mean Roshi. Girl in the original Dragon Ball who spared Goku because she thought that he was a monkey. Jimmy saying again that Master Koran laugh sounded just like him. Philly saying, shame we never got to really see these characters again. Yeah, I agree. And that's what makes What If so compelling and fun, because there are so many characters that Akira Toriyama created that we never really got to explore with or enjoy as well as we could. So, yeah, I was definitely creates, a lot of fun scenarios you could do with What Ifs. Revive the guys who Kid Buu killed. Yeah, that's a thought. Yeah, that's a thought. All right, we'll move on. Alright, we'll get straight into the next chapter. Where's my... Oi. Drink. Chapter 11. Enter the Room of Spirit and Time. Goku with his son flew together aboard the flying Nimbus Cloud, with Nappa, Vegeta, and Krillin close behind. They were on their way to the lookout. Goku did have some misgivings in trusting these two Saiyans, knowing their history in conquering planets. However, right now, Goku realizes he doesn't have a choice, not with his enslaved, overpowered brother and Lord Frieza out to get him. Soon, they had reached Korin's tower, heading full speed up the lookout where Mr. Popo stood awaiting their arrival. Mr. Popo, do you have any idea what's going on? Of course, everything is prepared right this way, Popo responded, leading everyone towards the entrance to the Room of Spirit and Time. You better not be wasting our time, Kakarot, Vegeta demanded. Oh, I assure you, Saiyan, he is not. The Room of Spirit and Time is another dimension. If you can last a full year, you won't be disappointed. Now who's first? Mr. Popo said as he opens the door to the chamber. What? Can't we all go in at once? Vegeta asked. Gohan looked timid while Nappa seemed raring to go. I'll go first, Vegeta, and I'll take the squirt with me. I'll make a true Saiyan out of him, Nappa said. Gohan looked timid and scared of Nappa, and Goku went to approach his son when Vegeta stopped him. Don't worry, Kakarot, I'll take good care of your boy, Nappa said as he ventured into the chamber with Gohan. As the day quickly went by for Goku and Krillin, they decided to begin teaching Vegeta the art of sensing energy without his scouter, as well as how to hide his power level. Not bad, Kakarot. With this, we could literally have the element of surprise when we face Lord Frieza, Vegeta feeling triumphant. Goku was quite impressed with how quickly Vegeta picked up on these abilities. For the remainder of the day, Krillin and Goku did some light sparring, while Vegeta merely stared at the chamber door, eagerly waiting for his turn. And Kakarot's turn, of course. Suddenly, the door had opened, Nappa and Gohan ventured out. Gohan had learned how to fly, and was no longer the timid child that walked in. Vegeta looked on in surprise as he could sense the power of Nappa and Gohan, both now stronger than him by far. This made Vegeta smile with excitement. Vegeta was going to come out of this so much stronger. That much was clear as he and Goku ventured in the chamber. And that's that for this chapter. Not a very long one. I think I'll actually keep going. Chapter 12, Planet Namek. It had been some time since Frieza let Kiso, aka Raditz, out of his cage to eliminate Kakarot. He had heard that Vegeta and Nappa left without permission after their former partner, but that was no worry for Lord Frieza. Kiso was much stronger than they were. They'd be a minor nuisance to him. Yes, oh how Frieza had beautiful thoughts of relief at the idea of the so-called Super Saiyan being out of his hair. He took a deep breath and took a sip of his wine as he stared out into space. I do hope Kiso makes that monkey suffer for putting me through all that stress. To think, he got me breaking a sweat and training. Ha! At that moment, Frieza was hit with another premonition, this time not only seeing a Super Saiyan, but a green planet with lower life forms, no technology, beautiful clear water, a natural paradise. Then, he did see the Namekian civilization looking on at the 7 glowing mystical orbs, a massive dragon, and the Super Saiyan closing in. Namekians! Of course! It's planet Namek! Well, it would seem the legend of those tree slugs are true. The Namekian wish orbs are real, Frieza said with glee. Sorbet, do call Kuso back. When he gets here, ready my ship. We have a new course. Yes, yes, sir. Where are we going? Sorbet asked, ready to do the bidding of his master. Why, we're off to planet Namek and the wish orbs. I shall have immortality, so that Super Saiyan can't touch me. Frieza, with a tone that sounded ambitious, he stares at his hands, surging power through him that shook the entire Frieza Planet 79. Frieza laughed with excitement. After I'm immortal, not even Lord Beerus will be able to oppose me, and I will take my rightful place among the gods. Okay, break time. Mm, mm, mm. Previously. Even I got to admit, I do like the thumbnail on this video. On this video, I did. Oh, one comment from Jimmy Stetton. This is for What If Frieza Spare Bardock, by the way. He says he loves the concept, can hardly wait for part 3. You should do a What If Bardock went with Goku to Earth. Yeah, I might actually do that in the near future. If I can think of a way to make it work and somehow make it different to my What If Gine survived, because it might just turn out to be repetitive and the same as that, or rather, or just Bardock, ultimately just blowing up planet Earth. So, but I'll keep it in mind if I think of a way to make it work that isn't repetitive to What If Gine survived, then yeah, definitely. Mind you, it would have minor differences, but yeah, at this point, I just think it'd be too much like What If Gine survived. Alright. Oops. Idiota. Alright, What If Frieza Became Immortal Part 3 comments? What do we have here? He says, love the story and can't wait to see where you go with it. I only suggest recording when it's not so windy. The wind made it a little hard to understand you this time. All in all, well done as usual. Dr. Mew was a nice touch. I hope we get Lord Baby. And yes, if there's a Dr. Mew, a Lord Baby isn't going to be too far behind now, is he? And yeah. Is Baby going? Midfield says Baby going to be introduced. Baby only wanted to kill Sans. I would imagine he joins Frieza. Maybe. Although I think I have a little something different in mind for Baby and Frieza. We'll just have to wait and see. Did Frieza have to destroy Dr. Gero? Frieza actually didn't kill Dr. Gero in this timeline because this timeline followed the story pretty much of what would have happened in History of Trunks. The androids killed Dr. Gero and ran amok and started killing humans, and in this case, Frieza Force soldiers as well, with Frieza conquering the planet. So, yeah, Dr. Gero was actually killed by his creations. He wasn't killed by Frieza. Okay. Alright. Alright, and I think we are now coming up on the last chapter for the stream. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Chapter 13, Vegeta and Goku, the Room of Spirit and Time. It had only been 2 hours since Goku and Vegeta entered the chamber, though for Vegeta and Goku, weeks had passed, and every moment Goku and Vegeta gave it all they had. Vegeta knew what to do first. He'd catch Goku up to his level by constantly hurting him, taking full advantage of the Zenkai. Yes, Goku was much weaker, especially for a Saiyan, yet Vegeta found himself very impressed with Goku. If this were Raditz, he'd be begging to stop, but not Goku. Goku kept getting back up and throwing himself back into the fray head on. Soon, Goku would equal Vegeta in power, and soon began winning a few of their sessions. Goku's mastery of martial arts and the turtle way of training gave him a few advantages. However, eventually Vegeta would pick up on these skills and learn how to counteract. Through sheer sweat, blood, and effort, Vegeta and Goku grew stronger together. As much as Vegeta was impressed with Goku, Goku was also impressed with Vegeta's determination. The conditions of the root of spirit and time became dire, treacherous storms that became raging infernos or ice-cold blizzards. Goku knew this would happen, having spent a month in this room as a child and nearly lost his mind because of it. This time, Goku was determined to see this through till the bitter end. He and Vegeta will survive this. After another grueling session of training, Vegeta and Goku decide it was time for a snack break. Goku being curious, he asked Vegeta if he knew anything about his parents. Vegeta smirked and said, "I knew your father by reputation, a low-class Saiyan with an average power level. However, he was a lot like you. Not afraid to get his hands dirty or shy away from a fight, and he became stronger. He's a big part of why we Saiyans were once feared across the universe as a warrior race." After taking a bite of a lamb shank, he then continued, "His mind solved the moon problem. Back when we had to rely on the moon to conquer planets, your father invented a way to combine our power with the planet's atmosphere to create our own moonlight." "What, the moon? What does the moon have to do with anything?" Goku asked, bewildered. Vegeta was shocked at this. Surely Kakarot knew about the transformation that occurs when a Saiyan looks at the full moon. After Vegeta filled him in all about the Great Ape transformation, Goku felt remorseful, for now he finally knew the truth about the death of his adopted grandpa, Gohan, and what trashed the martial arts stadium. It was him all along. "Vegeta, did you know my mother too?" Goku asked. "Ha! Only that she was the weakest of our kind and worked in a kitchen," Vegeta said with a vulgar-like tone. And then his tone softens. "However, according to Raditz, she was also kind and caring, hardly Saiyan behavior, and she was also brave. Evidently, she saved your life before Frieza destroyed our planet. As for your father, I guess he died trying to face Frieza." "If you knew this, Vegeta, why work for a maniac like Frieza?" Vegeta looked to Goku, meeting his gaze. "To be honest, I didn't know until I saw what Frieza did to Raditz. It was then everything came clear to me. Your parents died true Saiyans, Kakarot, facing Frieza, and now he punishes your brother, all to stop you. The one he fears will defeat him." Vegeta said, placing his arm on Goku's shoulder, acknowledging his power. "Together, we will defeat Frieza and avenge our race and free the universe of his evil once and for all." With that, Goku is more motivated than ever to train. Two Saiyans go at it again with everything they got. This went on until they finally both emerged from the chamber. Everyone sensing their power, it was on a completely different level to Nappa and Gohan. Vegeta and Goku look to each other and smirk, and together they power up, unleashing a new transformation. A transformation everyone there had witnessed only once, facing Raditz. Goku and Vegeta's hair begun to stick up and turn golden, their pupils gone white, then blue. They had done it. Goku and Vegeta were Super Saiyans, their power altering the atmosphere, causing a storm. The moment of destiny has come, as the Saiyans were now ready to face Lord Frieza. Whew, and that is it for the. Yep, just checking. Yep, this is definitely the final chapter, at least for this stream. And yes, there is more to come, so don't worry, that will be coming. So, I hope those of you who did join us today, I did see a few people jumping on and off according to the readout here. And yeah, hope you guys will join me again for volume 3 as soon as I of course, write it up. And I will be streaming again in the near future, doing another What If Saiyan Council, where I essentially do read more comments and discuss them further, and discuss your own what if ideas. And for those of you who are who are interested in being part of the DB Rai art, yeah, you can definitely send me fan art on my Twitter at Toshio Rai on Twitter, and with the hashtag DB Rai art, I'll find your art pieces, and I can do videos on discussing those as well. And well, with that, keep your eyes open for more Dragon Ball What If videos. This is going to be it for this stream. And like I said, I'll be back again with more live streams in the future, along with more What If, more fun Dragon Ball content. And yeah, and I will see you guys then. Catch you later, everyone. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you again next time.